Charles Upham is a name that stands as a symbol of courage, resilience, and the unwavering spirit of a soldier. His legacy is etched into the annals of military history not only for his extraordinary heroism, but for the rare distinction of being the only combat soldier in World War II to win the Victoria Cross, twice the highest military honor in the British Commonwealth. Born in 1908 in Christchurch, New Zealand, Upham was raised on a farm where he developed the characteristics that would define his later life: toughness, self-reliance, and an unshakable determination. His early life was that of a typical rural New Zealand boy, working hard on the farm and leading a quiet life. But when the Second World War broke out, he was ready to leave his peaceful existence behind and do his part. Upham enlisted in the 2nd New Zealand Expeditionary Force and was quickly thrust into the maelstrom of war. He first saw combat in North Africa, where the war was already raging between the Allied forces and Axis powers, with the famous Africa Corps under General Erwin Rommel posing a significant threat. In 1941, Upham was sent to the Western Desert Campaign, where he joined the 2nd New Zealand Division. His unit was involved in some of the fiercest fighting of the North African campaign, including the Battle for Tobruk. This was a pivotal moment for Upham, not only as a soldier, but as a man. It was here that he first demonstrated the remarkable courage and selflessness that would define his legacy. During the First Battle of El Alamein in 1942, Upham's extraordinary bravery came to the forefront. In the heat of battle, he was part of a unit tasked with holding a strategic position against overwhelming Axis forces. Despite the ferocity of the enemy's attacks and heavy casualties, Upham repeatedly exposed himself to enemy fire to help his comrades. His actions were crucial in holding the line, and despite the dire circumstances, he remained calm and collected, inspiring his fellow soldiers. However, it was during the Battle of Crete in 1941 that Upham would be tested in ways few soldiers ever are. After surviving the harrowing Battle for Tobruk, he found himself among the defenders of Crete when the Germans launched their airborne invasion. In the face of overwhelming odds, Upham's calm and leadership qualities stood out. In the chaos of battle, he was captured by the Germans. Yet even in captivity, his sense of duty and courage remained unbroken. He was sent to a German prisoner of war camp, but his story did not end there. In a daring escape attempt, he managed to make his way back to the British lines. This defiance against enemy captivity showed his incredible willpower, and even in the face of overwhelming odds, he refused to let the enemy dictate his fate. In 1945, during the Italian campaign, Upham's bravery would be recognized in the most significant way. After enduring the brutal battles in the North African and Mediterranean theaters, he was awarded his first Victoria Cross for his actions at Rovereto, where he single-handedly took on a German stronghold to protect his comrades. Under heavy fire, Upham crawled across open ground to reach a critical position, all while carrying supplies to fellow soldiers sustaining injuries along the way. When the situation seemed hopeless, his dogged determination and refusal to give in were instrumental in the success of the mission. Despite his recognition, Upham's sense of duty and humility remained. But the most extraordinary chapter of his military career came in Italy in 1945 after he had been awarded his first Victoria Cross. In a final act of gallantry, Upham's unit was in the thick of battle in Italy, surrounded by enemy forces and under heavy artillery fire. Upham, now known throughout the division for his courageous spirit, went above and beyond the call of duty, once again risking his life to lead men in a critical assault. It was here in the aftermath of fierce fighting that Charles Upham would earn his second Victoria Cross. He was once again exposed to enemy fire, leading his men through an assault with complete disregard for his personal safety. Under fire, Upham destroyed enemy positions, helped his comrades, and ensured the success of the mission, all while remaining focused and unwavering in the face of danger. His courage and leadership in this battle were so extraordinary that he was awarded his second Victoria Cross, cementing his place in history as one of the greatest soldiers to ever serve. In total, Charles Upham received 2 Victoria Crosses for acts of exceptional valor, making him one of only 3 men in history to receive this highest military honor twice. After the war ended, Upham's legend grew, but he remained as humble as ever. He never sought the limelight, choosing instead to return to New Zealand, where he resumed his life as a farmer. However, his story was not forgotten. In 1947, the New Zealand government decided to formally honor his bravery, and Upham was celebrated in his home country as a national hero. The incredible story of Charles Upham is not only one of remarkable heroism, but also of the enduring human spirit. He was a man who, despite the odds and against all expectations, became a legend, a soldier who rose from obscurity to become the embodiment of courage, selflessness, and dedication. Charles Upham passed away in 1994 at the age of 85, but his legacy as a two-time Victoria Cross recipient lives on. His bravery continues to inspire generations of soldiers and civilians alike. He remains a symbol of the unwavering spirit of a soldier who fought for freedom, never once thinking of glory, but always thinking of his comrades, his duty, and his country. Upham's story reminds us that true heroism is not about seeking recognition or fame, but about putting the needs of others above oneself in the face of overwhelming danger. His remarkable career will forever stand as a testament to the strength of character, the power of perseverance, and the sacrifices made by those who serve. The name Charles Upham will always be remembered in the annals of military history as one of the greatest soldiers the world has ever known.